think what I'm going to talk about very briefly is something that maybe all of us might have seen. It was an installation, a sound installation. It was sort of a bit like Guitar Hero for birds. An artist, a French artist called Céleste Boursier-Mougenot. And it was in the Curve Gallery at the Barbican. And it was, I hope that some people might have seen it, but if they didn't, it was an aviary which was for zebra finches. And it was set up with lots of guitars and drums, mostly guitars, kind of bass guitars and lots of different types, all amplified. And over the course of the month of May, these zebra finches kind of made their home, really, in the space. And so they would perch and they would squabble and they would mate and they would eat, all on these instruments. And as they moved about the instruments, they made a soundtrack. And this just really touched me very strongly. First of all, just an incredible sense of wonder, and sort of quickly followed by massive jealousy that I hadn't thought of it myself. But the thing that I sort of adored, really, as much as the kind of very sort of gentle delicacy of the soundtrack that the birds were making, was the very sort of gentle interaction that was happening with the people who were walking through the space. So as people would approach or kind of scrutinize the birds, they would move. So the movement of the people was really dictating the movement and therefore the soundtrack of the installation. The thing that I loved about this, that really sort of touched a kind of a beautiful chord, I think, was the fact that it was always on the verge of becoming something really epic. So there was the birds would sort of take off in little flocks and then they would land, and there was some very kind of like almost Morricone type spaghetti western kind of huge chords that would happen, and then it would really just then disintegrate and kind of fall away to quietness. And it was the sort of sense of wonder on the faces of everybody who, in just kind of the observation and the interaction with this kind of beautiful present, really. I talked about present earlier on, but it really was that. It was this really kind of gorgeous space that we could exist in with the birds, and it was actually them that was playing, but it made me begin to think about how we learn and how we gain joy from the observation of play. I mean, obviously this is kind of animal play, but I know that I get a lot of my inspiration from watching nature or from watching animals interact, and it made me kind of think about how for animals, with the quality or the nature of play for animals, and how actually the way that sort of animals negotiate the world is very similar to the way that children negotiate the world, in that it's not really play for them. They don't see it as something which is and now we're playing. It's essential, it's serious, it's not really games when you're little, it's just how you are and how you're making sense of yourself. And I think that's that kind of gentleness was really something that that just blew me away. So I kind of really wanted to just sort of have it in the room, even though I know that probably lots of people saw it. It was really the wonder, I think, the kind of beautiful, wordless, kind of unadulterated wonder of watching people watch animals, and this kind of, just because I'm very much into binaural and spatial sound, that kind of swirl of kind of kinetic kind of connection was very, very pleasing. So that's